We've just wrapped up plenary, and as the symposium draws to a close, we are now at that moment where the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of National Security, she'll present her closing remarks, and with that I welcome Ms. Dianne McIntosh.
Lieutenant General Rocky Mead, distinguished presenters, local and overseas, other keynote speakers, policy analysts, guests, good afternoon. Just last year, the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the University of the West Indies and the Caribbean Military Academy, Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, said, "We need a revolution in producing technical and intellectual skills to build a 21st century region." With enough conviction to go around, he pointed out that we are creating a narrative to build appetites for more training, professional advancement, research, and things that academics are expected to do to serve their people and to serve them well. Today, this research symposium epitomizes the kind of forward thinking that Professor Beckles discussed last May. The same discussion being had even now. Today, I am proud to say that because of that mission and vision as a people, and more importantly, as a ministry with responsibility for national security, we are not far from creating more resilient policies for national development, which has been the focal point of discussion throughout the past 2 days. As many of you would have observed, the Ministry of National Security is not hesitant when it comes to seizing opportunities for partnership, especially when seeking to bring a greater level of strategic thinking into our security architecture. On that note, we laud the Jamaica Defense Force for hosting its inaugural Resilient Policies for National Development Respond Symposium, and we commend such an apt use of virtual plenary. With a customized virtual platform to host the event, we are seeing the ministry's transformational agenda to use more technology come to life. This embodiment of a mechanized response to issues of national security adds greater value to ongoing discussions on policies and matters of national interest, as it is the first of its kind, consistent with the ministry's thrust to employ and foster the use of greater technology alongside more agile and innovative thinking. This will undoubtedly enable our sector to respond strategically and effectively to emerging threats to national security in our quest to reduce major crimes while safeguarding economic security. I wish to extend commendations to the leadership of the JDF and the Caribbean Military Academy for conceptualizing this very relevant and opportune forum to discuss resilience in health, security, and the economy. Amidst the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the capacity of our country to respond has been and continues to be tested in unprecedented ways. At this time, I'd like to use this opportunity to extol our frontline workers who grapple with COVID-19 head-on. I also want to acknowledge and commend teammates from the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, for their transformative initiatives, which have also seen increased use in modern technology. This has enabled Jamaica to become more equipped to manage our borders, particularly during the fight against COVID-19. We anticipate continued efforts that will yield even more evolutionary successes. Nevertheless, as we come to close this year's symposium, we can safely say that the military has demonstrated through the capacity of the CMA to provoke thought among young minds while working in tandem with a wide cross-section of stakeholders who contribute to the achievement of the national outcomes. The last 4 financial years have been and seen a doubling of the capital budget expenditure allotted to our ministry. 1% of Jamaica's GDP was allocated to national security in the fiscal year 2019-20. This historical allotment signaled the government's commitment to making the required investment in improving the national security infrastructure. And for the first time in Jamaica's history, our security forces are able to advantageously make use of improved mobility, communications, surveillance, and forensic capabilities following investments to the tune of 20 billion Jamaican dollars. This was decisively and effectively done to address threats to the rule of law, natural disasters, pandemics, public order, social unrest, and malevolent attacks. During his address yesterday, Minister Chang pointed out that amid heightened demands in our security forces, the need to re-equip our armed forces will undoubtedly bolster their capacity to respond to citizens more effectively. What this symposium has shown us is that there is cohesion among our national and international obligations, which interlocks our work in building a secure, just, and resilient society. The conversations at this symposium have been critical to strategic security and development frameworks, which are consistent with the goals of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and Plan Secure Jamaica in alignment with Vision 2030. Undoubtedly, for the past 2 days, we have been earmarked with pungent presentations from subject matter experts, industry leaders, and robust intellectual discourse among senior policy officials in the relevant sectors. The ministry now looks forward to the product from that meeting of the minds and the inevitable impact that will be made in the short and medium to long-term implementation periods. However, amidst the challenges we may face, I encourage all team members, partners, management and staff to continue innovating in order to streamline operations, maximize resources, and provide superior service delivery to the citizens of Jamaica and other stakeholders. It would be remiss of me to end without acknowledging the efforts of the planning committees who worked tirelessly to endure the full execution of this event. I want to acknowledge the extraordinary response from the presenters, participants, and key stakeholders who continue to provide their unwavering support to initiatives like these, which are geared towards informing and propelling policies for sustainable nation building. A huge part of this symposium's success is owed to the support of our lead sponsors, Digicel Jamaica and Sagicor Jamaica Limited. The ministry looks forward to the continued support from all our partners in the private sector as we seek to innovate and to create opportunities to make a real impact when it comes to national security. Without a doubt, you have truly responded to our call. Thank you. We now stand for the national anthem.